is one of Australia's biggest food and wine festivals, showcasing some outstanding wineries and breweries. It's also about food, entertainment, family, friends, and just gathering together to enjoy a weekend that is just fantastic for representing what WA has to offer. So come with me to experience some beautiful wineries and breweries and experience some great chocolate and food as well. Our first stop is the Jane Brook Winery Estate, and I'm speaking to the owner here, David Atkinson. Good morning.
Good morning, Anita.
How important is an event like this, a festival like this, Spring in the Valley, for you and for Jane Brook?
It's very good for the Swan Valley because it promotes what we have to offer up here.
What can people expect from this winery?
We're the largest sparkling wine makers in Western Australia, so we make some absolutely wonderful champagnes. I know we shouldn't call it that, but we will.
So you've got wine, you have strawberries, you've got some art and craft and some live music as well. It looks like a pretty good day.
Another thing too, and the best thing is that we have John Carroll here, who's a silversmith. John has been in Perth for about 30 years and he's a craftsman. He has his maker's mark on the silverware and it's absolutely fantastic.
Wine. Rob, what am I drinking here?
This is the Chenin Blanc, the plain Jane Chenin Blanc. It's sparkling wine. It's actually the Champenoise method from traditional France. Second fermentation's in the bottle.
How do you know so much about your wines?
I'm the assistant winemaker here for Jane Brook. Just moved up from Margaret River, taking the job, so yeah, it's good fun.
Through Hortons this morning, something caught my eye, and it was this fine group of people here. They are the Romans. Guys, are you having a good time today?
Yeah, fantastic.
Now tell me, why are you dressed the way you are and in the Roman gear? Where did the inspiration for this come from? Beck?
It was the lady that organised our bus. It was the theme that she chose, and I think it's got to do with the fact that apparently Romans have something to do with winemaking.
So you're a red wine drinker or a white wine?
I'm definitely red.
No, you're not.
I am! Oh no, I'm just drinking this because she made me.
So what does Spring in the Valley mean to you girls?
Fun. Lots of fun and hot weather.
Now, are you here for the actual wine tasting or just a day out with your mates?
A little bit of both. Yeah, a bit of both. We're getting into both of them.
How are you finding the day so far?
Yeah, really good. This is our first stop, so this is the first place we've been so far.
And we're both Spring in the Valley virgins, so it's quite exciting for us.
I'm with Jan Peterson at the Horton Winery here. Jan, welcome to Wake Up WA. I understand you have over 165 years of experience in winemaking behind you. Can you tell us a little bit about that, in particular Jack Mann?
Absolutely. We're the oldest winery in the Swan Valley. We've been here since 1836. We first made wine commercially in the year of 1859. And as you've mentioned, Jack Mann is the one that most people associate with Horton. Jack Mann did 52 consecutive vintages here.
Now, an event like this, Spring in the Valley, how big or how important is it for Hortons?
Oh, Spring in the Valley is a massive event for the Swan Valley. It's a great time to showcase the Swan Valley. As you can see, it's the beginning of spring, the beginning of the growing season. All our vines are out there in full bloom and the fruit's set, ready to go for next year's vintage. The young ones get to try some of our premium wines, of course, and hopefully enjoy a glass or two while they're having a picnic under the trees.
Now, I know Western Australians love their beer and their beer drinking. Tell me, what does Spring in the Valley or a festival like this do for getting people involved in the wine tasting culture?
The young ones do tend to drink beer. They're not really familiar with the wine, so it's a good opportunity to say to them, okay, come and have a look at the wines.
Now, Michele, this is beautiful. What am I drinking?
You're drinking an old vine Grenache made from the old vines here, planted in 1945. They're all dry grown here. Grenache is a Spanish variety. It's very soft, smooth wine.
Yeah.
Has a lot of rich berried flavours and it's beautiful.
Now,
it's a bit different from a Shiraz and different from a Cabernet, not as heavy.
Yeah,
and a nice, easy drinking wine.
Smooth going down.
Yeah, it's very smooth and very beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, one thing I want to know is, why do people swirl the wine and smell it? Is there a reason, or is it just like a la-di-da gesture?
No, you swirl a wine just to release all the aromas and flavours of a wine.
Oh, okay.
And that's why you smell it. And you also look at the legs of a wine, they call the legs of the wine.
Oh, okay.
And it's also the alcohol and the character of the wine by swirling it around, and you have a look and you see the legs that sit up there.
Oh, yes.
And that shows you like the alcohol content can be quite high sometimes, or if it's a sweet wine, it will be very, very sticky and stick to the side of the glass.
So what would this wine be, the Grenache?
This is a fruity wine, very rich berries, very rich raspberries. Very soft palate, soft finish. That's what Grenaches are, and it's a beautiful, nice brick red colour. Lovely wine.
Geraldine Rieger, you're the organiser of Spring in the Valley here. Can you tell us a little bit about your connection to the Swan Valley and a bit of background information?
Yeah, I first came to the Swan Valley in 1988 and enjoyed my first spring in the valley at that time. The Swan Valley at that stage was very underdeveloped with only a very few amount of wineries, and I don't even think we had a brewery at that stage. I got involved with Spring in the Valley in 2005 as one of the organisers, and you can see for yourself the Swan Valley has just grown enormously with so many wineries, breweries, distilleries, great restaurants, excellent food.
Spring in the Valley is not only just about beer and wine, it's about chocolate as well, and this is a great opportunity for the kids to enjoy it as well. Is this a multicultural event as well?
Not so much a multicultural event, but we do have a lot of produce in the Swan Valley. Obviously, there's our food stalls during the right season. We have a lot of fresh produce, so that's quite nice. And sometimes for people, when they go onto the website, which is www.swanvalley.com.au, they're able to access what's available at what time of the year, and that's fantastic for people.
Great. So how important is an event like this or a festival like this for WA?
I think it's really important because the exposure that the Swan Valley gets at this time is absolutely fantastic. But I think it's also about the consumers. The consumers have the opportunity to experience wonderful food and wine and beer, and that's important for them. And it, of course, again, as I keep saying, it brings back to the point of coming back to the Swan Valley at another time and experiencing it again.
Yeah, and it's not just for a certain age group?
No, families are very, in fact, encouraged to come along. And I think this is an important thing for people to be able to bring their children to an event like this.